everybody. Welcome back to Mother's Mysteries podcast. I am your host, Cece, here with my beloved co-host,
Colleen.
We're back at it again for part 2 on Elvis Presley's movies. I'm just forewarning you guys now, I'm not going to do 3 parts on this because, as much as I would love to do 3 parts on Elvis,
we could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I could just make this forget Mother's Mysteries. It's just going to be the Elvis girls. But I won't do that to you guys. So this might be an extended one, just to forewarn you guys. It might end up being a 2.5-hour episode, but
get you a nice cool drink, kick your feet up, get in the air conditioning if you're where it's hot, where most of the nation it has been unbearably hot this summer.
If you're driving, take a little road trip and listen to us, because that's what I do. I listen to our podcast while I drive. But anyway,
I listen to while I work.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just forewarning you guys. I don't have a prediction off the top of my head, but this is probably going to be a longer episode. And it might be 2 parts, but the second part might just be a bonus where we talk about the movies that came after his death, like the biopics and stuff like that. Because that deserves its own thing, but that'll be like a bonus episode. But anyway, this is just going to be the films of Elvis Presley and the concert series. If I get so inclined, I'll do a bonus episode about the biopics. Anyway, before we get into it, happy Elvis week. Whoop whoop. Sadly, we're recording this on the 16th, the Saturday, and this would be the anniversary of his death.
Uh-huh.
Solemn. A moment of silence for our beloved king of rock and roll. Okay, anyway. I also have to make a correction, guys. I am sorry. I said last week in the episode that his mother died on the 16th or the 17th and he died on the 16th. I was incorrect. I am sorry. I was remembering her funeral was on the 17th. She passed away August 14th, 1958. So, I'm sorry. I'm correcting myself. I jumbled up the days only because I was listening to Last Train to Memphis and they state that she passes away, but then everything happens on the 17th, and I had just listened to that before we recorded that, so that's why I was pulling the 17th. But she passed away on the 14th. He passed away on the 16th. Her funeral was held on the 17th in 1958. But anyway, I am correcting myself. I don't want to give you guys false information, especially when I know the facts, and I do. I just jumbled some dates up, so correcting myself. Sorry for the false information, but I'm glad I can correct myself. You got anything that happened this week, Ma, before we get into it?
Nope. Pretty boring.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't have a very eventful week either. Yeah, no. One of my kids at the clinic graduated this week. It was super sad. I work with autistic kids. He's very high functioning, super smart, super talkative. He's a joy to work with. And he graduated because he's going to school full time. Yay for him. I'm so proud of him, but I'm also very sad because he is very humorous.
I'm anxiously awaiting my new helper at work.
Which is me.
Yet to hire her.
They have hired me. They just have to wait for my background check because I'm dangerous.
Very.
I got an arrest record a mile long. Not.
Her rap sheet looks like a shopping spree at Walmart.
No. No, they're just dragging their feet with it. It's taking a while. Anyway,
they don't care because it's to help me out.
Yeah, it's not them. They don't care. All right. Well, without any further ado, let's get into it.
So last week's movies we went over is Love Me Tender, Loving You, Jailhouse Rock, and King Creole.
Yes, those all happened from 1956 to 1958. As we said last week, in 58, Elvis joined the Army and went to Texas for basic training, pausing his career until 1960 when he comes back to the States. He spent 3 years in Germany. While in Germany, he made a lot of friends, one in particular being... Wait a minute. Before we get into it, I am not going to dig deep into it because I haven't done my research yet, and I also feel like it's kind of like serendipitous that it happened during Elvis week that this comes out, but has anybody seen the news that Priscilla Presley is being sued
Yes, I have. Of course.
for allegations that she pulled the plug on her daughter too soon?
Like, who does that to a child?
An evil, vindictive witch.
I mean, I just got a flashback of Still Magnolias when
I mean,
they
I
tried and
understand,
tried and tried.
but it was like she went into the hospital and then like days later she passed away, and I don't remember hearing about her being on life support or anything. I just thought that she had had this episode and slipped away.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a pull the plug situation, which I understand completely. I worked healthcare. I took care of people on ventilators and stuff like that, and I know that you have people that can come out of it and do fine, and you have people that are going to be on it for the rest of, well, they're I don't want to get personal on it, but it's like, what kind of state of life do you have laying in bed where a machine's
Yes.
breathing for you and you're getting artificial feedings? And
I don't want that.
yeah,
DNR.
I don't judge anybody for if that's what they choose. It is not the way that I would want to live, and I use that as quotes because it's far from living. I'm more of a quality of life than quantity of life kind of person, and that is my personal belief. I don't hate on anybody who has any other feelings, but I've taken care of people that are like on that temporarily or they come out of it and they're functioning and stuff like that, which is awesome. I've also taken care of people who are on it and they're not going to come out of it and they're just in that bed until their bodies give out. I mean, if you shut the machine off, their bodies give out anyway, but yeah. So anyway, I understand that point of view and being like there's no hope. This is their inevitable. But from what I'm reading, it sounds like there was a possibility that she could have, they did that medically and she could have come out of that.
I know they put people in comas to
And again,
for whatever reason.
I skimmed over it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't give Priscilla Presley too much time anymore, but I saw that. Um, it sounds to me like it was drug related, which we all know Lisa Marie struggled for years, as her father did, with a substance abuse problem.
Yep.
I don't judge that. Everybody has issues to deal with, and that poor woman was demonized. And I understand. I mean, I don't understand the substance, but I understand the numbing aspect of it, why she would go to that. But anyway, so I get that, and I also like, get the whole putting her under type of thing if it was like a possible drug overdose to for her body to try to heal. So
Right.
I totally get that, 10, 20, 30, 60 days she could have come out of it, and it seems like Priscilla had too much power. Lisa should have learned her lesson from
Yeah.
way before. Don't give your mama nothing. But anyway, I digress. If you guys want to go look it up, it's all over.
Yeah.
I've gotten 2 or 3 messages. People have been like, "Did you see this? Did you see it?" My Google sends me stuff.
Yeah. Let's
Go look
move
into
on
it.
to happier and
Yes, let us move on. Okay.
she'll get hers.
Yeah. So from last week,
She won't get hers.
we can only hope karma is a cruel bitch and it comes for her. Anyway, so last week we ended with King Creole in 1958. That was the last movie he did before he joined Basic. Elvis goes over to Germany, does his 3 years, comes back to the States. The first movie he does in 1960, when he comes back, is a beautiful, beautiful movie. One of my absolute favorites. This is my number one. GI Blues came out in 1960. It is an American musical comedy directed by Norm Troeg, starring Elvis Presley and Julia Prowse.
Those legs of Julia's.
She did. She was a dancer. She had
Yeah.
some she had some yams.
Yeah.
Beautiful yams. She was a fairly attractive lady.
Yep.
Maybe not one of his prettiest co-stars, but she was attractive. The movie is Presley's 5th, but it is his first after his discharge from the U.S. Army. It was filmed at Paramount Picture Studios. It had some pre-production scene shots in West Germany while Elvis was stationed over there. The movie won second place Laurel Award in the category of Top Musical of 1960.
Nice.
Look at that. I I have nothing bad to say about this movie. I know people or like this is when it starts to go downhill because he comes back but I love this movie so much. This was the first movie I ever saw of Elvis Presley. I vividly remember it.
She wore my VHS tape out.
I did. Ma had like a 3-picture feature. It was GI Blues, Blue Hawaii, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the third movie.
Can't remember either.
It wasn't one that I watched very often. But anyway, so I watched GI Blues and Blue Hawaii. I wore the VHS out. I watched it so much. All right, I'll just read you the little blip although it gets kind of...
I just think in this movie you could, I don't know, like you're not supposed to be able to tell that they're acting, but in a way it looks like he's having fun.
I thoroughly can tell the movies where he was somewhat enjoying it, like even if it was taxing on him, because this, I will say, a couple movies after this is where it starts to get a little, but I still feel like this is early enough in his career that he's still enjoying it. And regardless of what anybody says, I like this movie. I think this is one that's relatively well written. The music makes sense because he's a performer. There's only a couple numbers where I'm like, okay, why are we singing now?
Right.
But it's still...
And the one where they go up on the gondola.
That's the one.
Awful.
I love that song.
Yes.
It's a great song, but I'm like,
background.
Yeah, that was really cheesy. But I'm like, why are we sitting in this gondola, traveling up the mountain, singing? But it's a musical, so, there's going to be some off timing.
And the shower scene.
Inserts snarls. Let me take a minute to revisit that shower scene. Anyway. He's in the army. He's in full uniform.
Oh, yeah.
This entire movie. I don't think he's ever except for the shower scene, he's ever out of uniform. No, he's in full uniform this entire movie.
I believe so.
Oh, Elvis in a military
uniform. That skinny, ripped Elvis. Oh. Yeah.
Just Elvis in a military uniform. Just let's take a minute to think about it. Okay, anyway, sorry. The little bit about the plot. U.S. Army Specialist Tulsa McLean, great name by the way, is the tank crewman with a singing career. Serving in the 3rd Armored Division, West Germany, McLean dreams of running his own nightclub when he leaves the army, but such a dream doesn't come cheap. Tulsa and his buddies have formed a band and perform at various German Glasthouses, nightclubs on the Armed Forces stage. And in one bar, he discovers... Oh, this is stupid. This isn't a part of the movie plot. To raise money, Tulsa places a bet with the tank commander, Dynamite, that he can spend one night with a club dancer named Lillian, who was rumored to be hard to get since she turned down another soldier. She doesn't just turn down one soldier, she turns them all down. She has no interest in men, by the way. Good for her. Since she turns down another soldier, Turk. It wasn't just him. She turns down quite a few men. I don't know why they just said him. Dynamite and Turk have vetted for women before, and the two are stationed in Hawaii. When Dynamite gets transferred to Alaska, Tulsa is brought in to take his place for the bet. He's not looking forward to it, but he must go through with it. Tulsa uses his southern charm, because he's from Texas. Or is it Oklahoma?
Tulsa.
Oklahoma. That was so stupid, Courtney. Yes, he's from Oklahoma in this movie. Anyway, Tulsa uses his southern charm and calls Lil ma'am. She first sees Tulsa as another occupying duty GI, and after a day in Rhine, Lil begins to fall in love with him. Tulsa's friend Cookie, meanwhile, falls in love with Lil's roommate Tina from Italy. It ends in the end. Another one of his mates Rick finds his baby mama, Marla, and they run off to get married. And they have a son, Tiger, which Tulsa takes care of one night. And that helps him win the bet because he calls little Lillian to help with the baby. And they end up spending the night together, but it's taking care of the baby. And the movie ends with them having a fight because she finds out about the bet, but then he finds out that the baby isn't indeed real and he really did need her help, and they fall back in love because happy endings.
Of
Anyway.
course.
That's the movie.
Hey, is there a fighting scene in this movie?
Yes, there is. At one of the Glassen houses, one of the soldiers plays the jukebox, which, by the way, it plays Suede Shoes.
Yeah.
While they're trying to play their live music, and Elvis comes over and fights him.
Yeah.
There is indeed a fight in this movie.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So, I love this freaking movie so much. Let's see, what are the songs from it?
Wooden Puppet.
Wooden Heart, yes. The only German I know how to speak is the lyrics from that song. Musebi, Haus, Haus, Mudu, Weißkatz, Weichstier. Anyway, GI Blues, mwah. Frankfurt Special, that was a good one. Pocket Full of Rainbows, and I know Have You Ever was never one of his like big hits, but I love that song. I love that was the ending song. That was really good. Julia Prowse Dancing, mwah. Chef's Kiss, love her. Her costume, the first costume, just those like glittery strips over her body. I mean, she's covered, guys, because it's 1960. Nobody was showing that much skin, but I wanted a dress like that. I remember asking Grandma Mary to make me a dress like that, and she told me no. I'll find a picture and put it on our Instagram so you guys can see it if you've never seen this movie, but I had dreams about that costume forever. I'm so sad this movie didn't do like, I don't know, it's not one of his like standout pictures, I guess, but maybe it's just my fond memories. Just like Johnny Depp and Crybaby. Crybaby was the first movie I ever saw of Johnny Depp's, and I will forever love that movie, and I will fight anybody about that movie. I freaking love it.
It's just GI Blues. Sorry, GI Blues. At a point, it just gets kind of cheesy. I mean, you can kind of predict what's going to happen.
I mean, they're going to get together, duh. Everything's going to work out in the end, so I guess I see that, but like I said, it's probably just my fond memories of the movie, but I love it.
It's not the cheesiest movie that he made, but...
No, they get worse.
Yeah.
Later into the 60s is when you're like, okay.
Really?
I'm looking at the list right now, and I'm going to say about 64 is when you're like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, they were just trying too hard.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the ones that I really like are the ones where people are going to be like, ugh, that movie. But like, I'm telling you, after 64, Viva Las Vegas is the cutoff for me when I'm just like, yes, I watch them and I enjoy them, but I'm like,
yeah.
And then there's a couple of his later movies where I'm like, yes, they're ridiculous, but it's also like, he's looking good.
He had a contract.
Yeah. He had.
So how many movies did he make? Sorry.
He made 31 motion pictures and he had 3 concert series. So yeah, anyway, all right, that was GI Blues. That kickstarted our film career again. I also think that when he came back from Germany is like the downfall anyway, because the Colonel had been putting out music because he had so much on hold at RCA that he'd recorded so much in the 2 years before that he went that Colonel was putting out records, and Elvis came back and was like, I didn't make that record. I didn't make that record. And he did. It was all stuff that they had recorded and put in storage, but like, yeah. So I also feel like this is when the Colonel was like, all right, I've made all this money while you're gone. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Movie. Because if you're looking at this, 1960, 1960, 61, 61, 62, 62, 62, 63, 63, 64. There's 4 movies that came out in 64. 3 in 65.
Wow.
3 in 66, 3 in 67, 3 in 68, 3 in 69, 1 in the 1970 was the concert series. 69 was the last movie he made. Then he does the concert series because that's when he goes back on tour.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing at least 3 movies a year
Wow.
from 1960 until 69 when he does his last movie. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys know anything about movies, you can shoot a movie, but if you want a good quality movie, you take a minimum of 3 months to shoot, and I'm telling you those are long, like 18-hour days to get 3 months of work to shoot because then most of the stuff happens during editing when you put everything together.
Right.
These are coming out in like what did they say? I was just listening to the audiobook this week.
Well, if there's, say, 3 a year, that's only 4 months on each picture.
But I'm like for him to like go and act and like
Right.
I'm telling you it was like months, like
Yeah.
8 weeks of work. We're going to shoot this movie in 8 weeks and it's going to be
Right.
done in 18 weeks and that's with reshooting and recording albums to go with it and everything. Like
Right.
the Colonel was just pumping them out. Like I'll talk about it when we get to the movie, but there's one that I remember it was only 16 weeks that they took to do the entire movie. That was from
That's
start
2
to
months.
finish to put it out.
That's only 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Yes. Next movie. Ma, this is your movie. This is my movie too. I love this one. Flaming Star.
Yes.
1960. This is a great movie, guys. Go find it. I can honestly tell you this is like he should have got an Oscar for this one because this was really good.
Yeah.
Flaming Star, 1960 American Western film starring Elvis Presley and Barbara Eden and Steve Forrest, based on a book, Flaming Lance, in 1958 by Claire Huxler. Critics agree that Presley gave one of his better acting performances as a mixed blood Pacer. Oh, Pacer Burton is his name. I don't know why they have that in quotes. Anyway, mixed blood Pacer Burton, dramatic role. The film was directed by Don Siegel and had a working title of Black Star. The film reached number 12 in the box office. Oh, this is a cool tidbit that I didn't know until I read this, guys. It was filmed in Utah and Los Angeles, as well as Wildwood Regional Park in Thousand Oak, California. The road near Wildwood in Thousand Oak has since been named Flaming Star Avenue after the movie.
Yes.
I want to go see Flaming Star Avenue.
Yes.
One of his better acting performances. I love GI Blues, but this is top tier acting. This is when you see this movie, you're like, okay, Elvis can be a serious actor, and then they just the Colonel put him through the shitter with all the other. But like this one, you look and you're like, yes, Elvis, brava.
Didn't he sing just like one song in this movie, or?
Yeah, he only sang the title track of Flaming Star, and that was the only. This was such a serious role, guys. This is a serious. I mean, westerns tend to be more serious. There are some funny westerns, but this was a very serious, dramatic role for him. He sang the title song. It's the opening because they're having a party. He sings a song, and that is it. The rest of it is just dramatic. It's a good movie.
Loved it.
And the plot. Pacer Burton is the son of quinoa mother and a Texas father. Working as a rancher, his family, including a half-brother Clint, live a typical life on a Texas frontier. Life became anything but typical when the nearby tribe of the Kiwan began raiding neighboring homesteads. Pacer soon finds himself caught between the two worlds, part on both, but belonging to neither. That's just the plot. That was so stupid. I could have written a better plot.
And yes, there is a fight scene in this movie.
Yes, he does fight. I think he fights with a white man. Yeah, he's playing a half Native American, half white boy in this movie. I just remember him being so serious and like so torn because like, wanting to stay with your Native American roots and then, your daddy's white and nobody's going to accept you because this is also, this was like homesteading period. So It doesn't give me a time period for the movie, but it's homesteading. It's obviously set. He's so good. He's so serious. He has such good acting chops in this one. And then the ending of the movie, he rides into the sunset and dies, which is
I love the what's it? Not folklore, but the just the way they do it.
yeah, it's very tasteful.
Yeah.
It's not like dramatic and drawn out
Yeah.
death. It's just like it's very noble where he's like, all right, if I have
Yes.
to go and die, I'm gonna go die, and that's
And then he rides off into the sunset. I mean that's a cliche and kind of cheesy, but that's
he has a whole speech before his
Yeah.
death too. It's just I can't just go watch it.
I think it's very noble what some of the Indian rituals and traditions are. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm part Indian, but I wish I was more, but I need to dig deeper into that heritage.
It's just a great movie. If you guys take nothing else from this besides Priscilla, fuck you, and go watch this movie. If that's all you take away, great.
Flaming Star.
Yeah, go find Flaming Star. 10 out of 10.
5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. 10 out of 10. Would recommend go watch it. If you never see an Elvis movie in your life, watch that one. It will change your perspective. Maybe on life. Anyway, enough of that one. Next one, Wild and Country, came out in 1961. Wild and Country is a 1961 American musical drama filmed by Philip Duran. Stars Elvis Presley, Hope Lang, Tuesday Wells, Milia Perkins, and Raphael Johnson and John Ireland. Based on a 1958 novel, The Lost Country by J.R. Salzmek. The screenplay consisted of a troubled young man from a dysfunctional family who pursues a literary career. The screenplay was written by Clifford Wards. This one is a good one too. It's not Flaming Star, but it's still very serious. I haven't watched this movie in a couple years.
I don't remember this one.
He only sings a couple songs in this one. This is a really serious one too, because this is the one, if you're talking to non-Elvis fans, but like who do the like musical stuff like that, this is the one that I hear that comes up a lot. Oh, Elvis did Wild and Country. That was a good movie. That was a good. So he did some good acting in this one too. I do remember this is pretty dramatic because he's like, I'll read the plot and then we can talk. Hold on. Glenn Taylor, Elvis Presley, is a childish 25-year-old who gets into fights and badly injures his drunken brother. The court releases him on probation to the care of his uncle in a small town. Appointed Irene Hope Lang. Irene Speary, which is Hope Lang's character, to give him a psychological counseling. Marked as a troublemaker, he is falsely suspected of various misdemeanors, including an affair with Irene. Eventually shown to be innocent, he leaves and goes to college to become a writer. So that's the plot. I'm only remembering he sings a couple songs. It's really good. He has some very dramatic where he's like sitting in these sessions with Irene talking about his life and stuff, and it's some serious monologuage going on. It's pretty good. There's also one scene that I really, really like where he gets drunk and with a girl from town, and it's super hot where he is, and he's got a hose or whatever, and I want to say it's maybe Irene's house or maybe his uncle's house, and he comes out, he's like, "What are you doing, boy?" And he's like, I'm a hose the heat away," and it's funny little stuff like that. But I feel like this was a good movie too. If you wanted a more serious, less musically stupidity that comes later on, this is another good serious-ish movie. I mean, it's got a couple points, but he's got good acting chops in this one too.
And obviously he gets in a fight.
That's the plot of the freaking movie. Yes, he gets into a fight in this one too, guys.
That's my niche. That's what we're gonna.
I'm literally the next movie he gets into a fight. I've never seen the next two movies after this next one. I can't remember if he gets into a fight in that one, but I'm sure he does.
I was going to have some Elvis movie playing on my TV with it muted, but I'm like, that would be a distraction.
Yeah.
So go ahead, next one.
All right, after Wild and Country comes my second favorite movie, Blue Hawaii.
Yeah.
This is the first movie he shoots in Hawaii. Yes. Yes. And it was filmed on location. And this starts Elvis's love affair with Hawaii.
He loves Hawaii.
He did love Hawaii so much. All right, Blue Hawaii is a 1961 American musical romance comedy drama. Just throw everything at the wall. Film directed by Norm Troge again, starring Elvis Presley. The screenplay by Hal Qatar was nominated for a Writers Guild of America 1962 in the category of Best Written American Musical. The film opened number 2 in the box office reception, despite mixed reviews by critics, finishing 10th in the top grossing film of 1961 and 14th of 1962. Earning $5 million. The film won 4th place at the Laurel Awards in the category of Top Musical of 1961. Yes, it's a musical. It's a beach musical. But I like this one.
There's some good songs in this one.
They are on the beach and he just like breaks out into song.
Yeah.
There's some odd
cheesy
placements, but there's also some good ones. The Hawaiian wedding song.
Oh yeah.
Mwah. Blue Hawaii, the song in general. Mwah. Let's get into the plot. By the way, Angela Lansbury plays his mama.
Oh yeah.
She's absolutely ridiculous and I love her. She's they have an he's not Polynesian, he's Asian.
Yeah.
They have an Asian butler houseboy and they call him Ping Pong. And they're Southern. They're transplants from like Georgia. So Angela Lansbury has a thick Southern accent, and I just remember her being absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Ping Pong, make me another Mai Tai.
Chad.
Oh, Chadwick. Elvis's character's name is Chadwick. Chad. Anyway. Oh, Chadwick. Your mama. Just Angela Lansbury just being absolutely ridiculous. Anyway. All right, so I'm going to read you the plot. Having been released from the army, starts out in army fatigues. Just released from the army, Chad Gates is eager to return to Hawaii.
Mr. Gates.
Mr. Gates. Anyway, this is eager to return to Hawaii to his surfboard, his native Hawaiian beach friends, and his mixed race girlfriend, Miley Duvall. Played by Joan Blackman. Oh, she's beautiful, by the way. Love her.
Good actress.
Yeah, she plays in the next movie too. Anyway, his mixed race girlfriend, Miley Duvall, she's French and Polynesian, if you want to know her mixed race. His mother, Sarah Lee, wants him to follow in his father's footsteps and take over management of the Great Southern Hawaiian Fruit Company, the family business. But Chad is reluctant to go to work Chad is reluctant and goes to work as a tour guide at his girlfriend's agency. Miley is a travel agent. Very big in the 60s. Not so much now. Everybody plans their own damn vacations now. But back then, he used to call a travel agent. Tour guide at his scattered-brained boss, Mr. Chapman. Who is Mr. Chapman? I remember him from
Hillbillies.
I remember him from Lucy too.
Mm-hmm.
He played a couple characters in Lucy. Anyway, he's funny. He is completely scatterbrained. The first client for Chad is an attractive school teacher, Abigail Prentice, and her 4 teenage female students. One 17-year-old, Ellie Corbett, seems self-centered and doesn't get along with the others, but she becomes smitten with Chad. That is one way. Chad has no eyes except for Miley. And this girl wants him bad, which I get. Anyway, Chad's girlfriend Miley becomes jealous of Abigail Prentice. That's the school teacher, who is quite fond of Chad, but not really. She ends up falling in love with Chad's dad's friend. They get together at the end of the movie. But anyway, after Ellie's flirtatious ways with the other tourists cause a wild fight that erupts in a restaurant, Mr. Chapman fires Chad. Miley quits. That's such a good song. I don't care what anybody says. I love that. And he is so funny when he sings it. Miley quits her job in protest. Miley and Chad independently continue guiding Abigail and her 4 youth and take them to Kauai. One evening, Ellie attempts to seduce Chad in his hotel room, but he refuses her advances. Good for Chad. At the same moment, Miley pays a surprise visit to the hotel. Ellie, despondent, flees in a stolen Jeep, intending to drown herself in the ocean. Before she can, Chad pulls her out, attempting to speak to her, but then decides to punish her with a spanking. Listen, guys, I'm not weird, but if Elvis is like, what you need is a good spanking, I'd be like, yes, sir. Yes, I do.
I'm just thinking, like, these actresses, and I know they're professional and everything, but like for me, I'm going to be in a movie with Elvis Presley. Okay. What am I going to be doing? Oh, I'm going to be his love interest.
I would have read that script and been like, Elvis spanks me. I would have been like, oh no. No, don't spank me. Anyway.
And I know they're all professional and everything, but I don't know. Looking from a fan perspective.
I feel like I saw an interview with this actress, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I feel like I remember her saying that he was trying to be nice with it, but the cameras were like, you have to make it look real, because you're just making it look. So, like, I guess he really did swat her a couple times, and, like, they were both cracking up so much. She was like, it was really hard to get through that scene. And she was like, and I think he ended up swatting me one time just to get me to shut up. And I'm like, again, I'd be like, no. Oh no. Okay, anyway. Meanwhile, Abigail found romance in Jack Kelman, a longtime business partner of Chad's father's. With Jack's help, Chad and his father resolve their differences about Chad's future. Chad and Miley form their own tourist business, Gates of Hawaii, and begin arranging and providing tourist services and his father's large network of fruit salesmen in the US and Canada. The film ends with Chad and Miley's lavish outdoor wedding. The freaking wedding scene is so beautiful.
Backstory. I had a really, really, really good friend in high school, and he got into some trouble. So to rectify that, they said either the military or reform school or whatever, So, of course, he chose the military. And he chose the Navy. And guess where he got stationed? Hawaii.
Lucky.
And I don't know, I always had it in the back of my head because he was a really good friend. He was my mom and his mom were best friends like in high school. And then they moved to where we lived. And I was telling my mom, and she goes, what? And she finally figured out that their mom was her best friend. So it was kind of inevitable that we be friends. So his twin sister and me became friends. Sorry, this is a long story. And we all became friends. So in high school, whenever I didn't have a date, he would always ask me out. And it was a friend thing, but I kind of wanted it to be more than friends. So we did date for a time there. And anyway, he went to Hawaii and we kind of went our separate ways. I mean, he came over when he got home, and his white uniform from basic and everything, and then he got stationed in Hawaii, and I always dreamed of us being married in Hawaii with that song playing in the background. And I told his mom one time, not the whole Elvis wedding song in the background, but I told his mom, I said, I always thought me and Mike would end up and we'd get married. She goes, yeah, me too. But got married in Hawaii, got divorced from her, and now he's married to a very, very, very nice young lady. And I'm jealous because he's retired and I'm not.
I've met Mike a couple times. He is a good guy.
Love you, Mike.
We had dinner with him one time.
Yes.
His wife and his daughters.
Yes.
They're lovely people.
Yep.
So yeah,
yeah, that was my fantasy about Elvis' wedding love song.
You can call this movie cheesy if you want. I will agree there's some odd placement of some songs and some cheesiness to it, but I love this movie. Blue Hawaii, the title track, Kisses. The Hawaiian wedding song, Kisses. What is it? Can't Help Falling in Love with You comes from this movie. Actually, there's a funny story behind that. That is one of Colonel Parker's favorite songs, and it's an Austrian like lullaby or something like that. And the Colonel wanted him to record it, and Elvis didn't want to. He said it would never sell. He hated it because it was so slow. And Colonel Parker got it slipped into the movie because with the music, that song comes up because he gives Miley's grandmother, it's her birthday, and he gives her a music box that he says he got in Germany because he's obviously coming back from Germany in this movie. And she opens the music box and starts playing the tune, and he sings to it. Yeah, that was a Colonel Parker thing. He loved it. He thought it would sell. He thought everybody would love it because it's so. And he wanted it to be a lullaby, and it ended up being a love song because it's a freaking love song. But anyway, Elvis did not like that movie. Didn't think it would do good. It did good. So yeah. But anyway, I love that one. Oh, that's another one. Rockahula, love that one.
Ito.
Ito Eat is so stupid. I slide some stand at the luau. That one's stupid.
Yeah.
Honestly, the one where he's in jail is kind of stupid, but I still love it because I think that whole scene is funny. It's not. I don't know. Say what you will about this movie. I love it. I have good memories of it.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. I love it. Blue Hawaii. That's like number 2.
Yeah.
GI Blues, Blue Hawaii.
Flaming Star, Blue Hawaii.
Yeah, it might be GI Blues than Flaming Star.
Blue Hawaii is probably the one that I've watched over and over and over again because it's a good movie.
I can tell you right now, GI Blues and Blue Hawaii, if I'm ever, you can ask my best friend this too. If I have ever had a horrible day where I have a vivid memory of this. I had really bad postpartum depression with my first child. It happens. I remember being at her house and just being like inconsolable, like, I'm bad, mom, everything is. This woman looked at me and said, shut up, and put on Blue Hawaii and was like, just watch and calm down. And I remember just sitting on her couch crying and watching this movie. And then after it was done, I was like, you're right, I feel better, thank you. That's just my best friend. She knows me so well. But this is my comfort movie. Like, the whole world could be in flames, and you put on an Elvis movie, any Elvis movie, honestly, and I'd be like, all right, it's gonna be okay. I am the same way with Gone with the Wind, though. As dramatic as that movie is, you put that on, I'm just like, everything's right in the universe right now, so it's gonna be okay. All right, next movie. Maybe you've seen this movie more than me. I think I've seen this movie once, and I don't think I watched it in its entirety because it's one that's somewhat hard to find for some reason. Anyway, Follow That Dream came out in 1962. American musical comedy filmed by Marshka Productions. Stars Elvis Presley. The film is based on a 1959 novel, Pioneer Go Home, by Richard P. Powell. Produced by Walter Murchtoff. Like the film song Follow That Dream, they retitled the picture accordingly. The film reached number 5 in Variety Weekly box office survey, staying on the charts for 3 weeks, and finished 33rd in the year's ending.
What year was that?
1962.
1962. I read the plot of it.
Oh, I am. This one's another unnecessarily long one. God.
Just condense it.
I'm gonna try to. I can't speak on this one though. So, okay, a vagabond family composed of Pop Kilmbler, Arthur O'Connell, and his good-natured but unsophisticated son Toby, Elvis Presley, and various informally adopted children, including their babysitter, a 19-year-old named Holly Jones, Anne Helm. Ooh, that is a horrible picture of Anne, by the way. Thank you. Is traveling through Florida. Pop drives into an unopened section of a new highway. The car runs out of gas, and the Kemplers intend on waiting until a government vehicle passes by to help them out. In the meantime, they set up a temporary camp. After a time, the first vehicles to come by belong to a state highway commissioner, H. Arthur King, who was appalled that the Kimbler's presence on his pristine highway might negatively impact his dedication ceremony that day, featuring the governor of Florida. King tries to have the Kimblers forcibly removed, but the government arrives in advance of the ceremony. Pops informs them that they are invoking the state homesteading laws and plan to live near the highway permanently. The governor applauds the Kimblers' pioneering spirit and tells the police to respect the private property. King, who considers the family a huge nuisance, leaves angrily and vows to return. Holly tells Toby that she is thrilled by the prospect of homesteading because she has never had a real permanent home. Uh, a chance encounter with an avid fisherman, Herbert Rubley, gives Holly an idea. With the help of $2,000 bank loan, they will build a thriving business catering to the sport fishermen. Trouble soon follow. King and the Kemplers cut off from King has the Kemplers cut off from all social assistance for their homesteading, as the area is technically outside the jurisdiction of any law enforcement. Two gamblers soon set up a reconnaissance casino and a trailer. They attempt to buy the Kemplers' land and belongings, but Pops refuses to sell to them at any price. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know this movie, so I'm gonna have to read this just so.
I'm kind of getting bits and pieces to it. I've seen it.
Shortly thereafter, Toby rejects the advances of an social worker, Alice Claypool, Joanne Moore, an ally of King's. In an act of revenge, she begins legal action to have the children taken away from Pops and make them wards of the state. Toby becomes the new community sheriff and ties up all qualms and noise coming from the casino every night. His presence has law enforcement, causes the casino patrons to flee. The gamblers bring a team of hitmen from Detroit to eliminate Toby and build a bomb to destroy the Kemplers' home. However, Toby naively but successfully deals with the casino's armed thugs. After Holly innocently returns a bag containing the bomb left under their front porch to their neighbors, and the casino blows up. Oh my god, I remember seeing this scene. It's so stupid.
So I assume Elvis gets in a fight in this movie?
Sounds like he disarms some thugs, so yeah.
Who plays Pops?
Pops? Arthur O'Connell. Sorry, guys, I can't speak on this film because even after reading that, I remember the casino exploding because it's so stupid. She's like, "You left your bag," and they're all, it blows up. It's just so stupid and campy. I don't remember this one, guys. I think I have seen it once and have not. Oh, here's a fun fact. During the filming, Presley met a 10-year-old Tom Petty, whose uncle was involved in the film production. Shortly afterward, Petty swapped his slingshot for his friend's collection of Presley records.
What? Wow.
I love Tom Petty too, so I never knew that. That's funny. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't speak on this one. I've heard the song "Follow Your Dreams" though. It's a good song. He's got like jeans on and like a denim shirt too, but like it's always unbuttoned just perfectly. I remember that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now, next one is another one I can't speak on. I know Ma can though. Kid Galahad in 1962, American music film starring Elvis Presley as a boxer. It was released by United Artists in August of '62. It opened number 9 in the box office and ranked 37 for the top grossing films in '62. Kid Galahad was shot on location in Idlewild, California. Its supporting cast include Gig Young, Lola Albright, and Charles Bronson. Some critics rate this film as one of Presley's best performances. Now I'm mad that I've never seen this. Yeah, I'm so mad I've never seen this now if they're saying this is his best performance.
I can't remember if
The film was a remake of a 1937 version, which the United Artists Television through the association distributed. That was starring Edward G. Robinson, Betty Davis, and Humphrey Bogart. Betty Davis. I love Betty Davis. And it was directed by Michael Kurtz, who directed the '58 Presley film King Creole. Ma, do you want to talk about this one?
I, it's been so long since I've seen it.
Oh, this is the one that Joan Blackman was in, not Follow That Dream. Joan played Miley from Blue Hawaii, by the way.
It's a great song.
So she makes a comeback.
King of the whole worldwide. This is Living.
See, that doesn't even sound familiar to me.
I can't read these. It's blurry. It's a picture of a album cover. Riding the Rainbow. Home is Where the Heart Is. I Got Lucky. And Whistle a Tune.
Oh,
Whistling.
Mm-hmm.
Galahad.
Okay, I know that song, but I didn't know it was from a movie. Okay.
That's like we said last week. I grew up listening to my mom's RCA Victor records and then seeing the movies.
I was gonna go through my vinyl collection, and tick off which ones I have because my vinyl collection grew last year when I bought a bunch of Elvis records for super cheap from an old man who had no idea what he had. Except I went there with the intention of buying the GI Blues album, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I got it. It's down there somewhere." Couldn't find it. Made me dig through all of his records. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Charles Bronson was like his manager,
Yeah,
trainer, or whatever.
This one is obscenely long, so I'm not going to read the synopsis on it. It's a boxing movie, though. Does that mean he's running around? I forgot to mention the little white shorts in Blue Hawaii. Go see it just for that. Go watch Blue Hawaii just for Elvis tramping around on the beach in tiny little swim shorts. Tiny, tight little swim shorts that will not disappoint. All you straight women and you gays, go watch. You'll thank me. But anyway, I say that to say that if this is a boxing movie, I'm assuming he's tramping around in little boxer shorts, so.
And we can
only assume he fights in this one.
assume he fights in this movie.
He fights in this one, too.
I don't know if I'm looking at some pictures and I don't think I've seen this movie.
This is one that I can't find to buy. So, like, I know it's got to be hard. I don't know who it's distributed by because it doesn't say. It's distributed by American Artist. That's not. So, I own quite a few Elvis movies, and this is one that I don't own, which is why I haven't seen it.
She looks quite different in this movie than she did in Blue Hawaii.
Yeah, she's got really short hair in this one.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's I mean, if you guys can find it and watch it, good for you. I have never seen it, but it sounds like one that I would like to see. All right, next movie. Girls, Girls, Girls.
Oh, Lord.
Came out in 1962, an American musical comedy film starring Elvis Presley as a penniless Hawaii-based fisherman who loves his life on the sea and dreams of owning his own boat. Return to Sender, which released at number 2 on the Billboard Pop Singles charts, is featured in this film. The film peaked at number 6 on the Variety box office charts and finished the year off at 19. It was also nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture Musical in the year of 1963. The film was the second of 3 films for Presley to shoot on location in Hawaii. The synopsis for this one, because it's short and I can actually talk about it. Ross Carpenter, a Hawaii-based fisherman, guide, and sailor who enjoys boating and sailing out on the sea. When he finds out his boss is retiring to Arizona, he seeks to find a way to buy the West Wind, the boat that he built with his father. Ross is caught in a love triangle with 2 women, childish, insensitive club singer Robin and sweet Lorraine. When Wesley Johnson makes advances on Lorraine, Ross punches him out. Another fight?
No.
Wesley owns the boat, so Ross thereby loses it. Laura, however, is not who she pretends to be. She is an heiress getting over a bad breakup and searches for someone who doesn't love her for her money. She secretly buys the West Wind for him, but Ross's male pride won't allow him to take it, and Ross has to choose between her and Robin.
This is the bad cooking scene.
Oh! Where she burns, yeah. This is funny. Yeah.
You sent me
Laura.
a meme on that.
Yeah. Laura is the one because she's the heiress. She's never done anything.
Invites him over for dinner.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has no idea, and she ends up burning dinner, but he comes in and she's like, help, help, help. And Elvis has to save the day. Of course. It's just funny. Because he's like, do you have any, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have any salt? I remember he uses salt to put out the fire. And she was like, oh no, just a little oregano. And like, she's naming off the seasonings. And he brings over wine and he's like, do you have any canned fish or blah? She's like, no, I was gonna. And he's like, just you sit down and put your feet up and daddy's gonna take over.
Looking good in that all black outfit in that scene.
The black suit on the stage singing Return to Sender. Swoon worthy. This movie's bad. This is one that I'm going to say is bad. It's not great acting. It's a horrible, horrible plot. But Return to Sender, just watch it for the scene where he sings Return to Sender, because if you didn't love Elvis, you will love it after I fucks you singing that song. Talk about bedroom eyes. Whew. Yes. Anyway, it's hot in here now. Alright, so that was Girls, Girls, Girls in 62. The next film starts out 1963. It happened at World's Fair, an American musical comedy film starring Elvis Presley as a crop dusting pilot. It was filmed in Seattle, Washington, site of the 20th Century 21 exhibition. The governor of Washington at the time, Albert Rosaliti, suggested the setting to MGM. Go away. To MGM executive. The film made $2.25 million in the box office. Kurt Russell had a small, uncredited role as a film debut. He kicks Elvis in the shin for like $1 or a quarter.
Yep.
I can't remember. Yep, that was Kurt Russell's first film appearance. This one is a cheesy one. I like it. I have fond memories of it, but it's a cheesy film. It's one of those where you're like, okay.
The little girl he had to babysit.
Yeah. The little Chinese girl. She's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, pilot Mike Edwards finds himself in a dilemma. His partner and friend Danny has overspent the money that Mike has been setting aside to pay their debts. Without it, their aircraft called Bessie, the Boeing Steeman Model 75 crop duster, is taken by the local sheriff. If Mike and Danny don't get the money in a week, Betsy will be auctioned off to the highest bidder. Mike and Danny become reluctant hitchhikers looking for a lift anywhere. They are picked up by an apple farmer, Walter Lynn, and his niece, Sue Lynn. They end up in Seattle, Washington, location of the 1962 World's Fair. When the uncle is called away on business, Danny persuades Mike to take Sue Lynn to tour the fair. During a visit to the doctor at the fair, Mike falls in love with Diane Warner, an attractive but stubborn nurse who is resistant to his advances. This is another theme. He goes after the women that play hard to get. Anyway.
Of course he gets her.
He gives a quarter to a boy to kick him in the shin so that he can go be treated by Diane again. That's Kurt Russell's character. Diane's supervisor then convinces her to give Mike a ride back to his apartment. It's not an apartment, it's a trailer. And by the way, those 1960 trailers, luxurious. Luxury. Convinced that his leg is injured.
I remember that.
Yeah, Mike and Diane dine at the top of the fair Space Needle. However, he is also courting Dorothy Johnson. Complications arise when Walter unexpectedly fails to return the next day to get Sue Lynn, leaving her with Mike. Sue Lynn's fakes illness so that Diane will come to their apartment. Trailer. They don't have an apartment. They're in a trailer court. Anyway, I hate that they keep saying apartment because it's a trailer court. It's a whole thing. And it's like, because he takes it because they tour like, oh, the new luxurious trailers or whatever. Anyway, that was luxury for the 60s, guys. Shut up. Faking illness so Diane will come to their trailer and examine her and see Mike again. When Diane discovers that Mike is not related to Sue Lynn, she wants to inform the welfare board so that Sue Lynn can be removed from Mike and Danny's trailer. Mysterious nightfall plane delivers its contents for Mike and Danny's friend Vince, who smuggles various furs. The film ends with Mike and Diane in love.
Aww. Side note, Kurt Russell, in his film debut, plays the boy who kicks Elvis Presley's shin. Recalling the scene years later, Russell says that he didn't want to do it, as Elvis was such a huge star and Russell was a fan of his. He says that finally Elvis paid him $5 to do it.
Yeah, I remember that interview. And he says he really did kick him. Like, that wasn't he kicked Elvis Presley in the shin. Yeah, this movie is so cheesy, but I also, again, have fond memories of it. So, yeah. Who wants to buy a heart to do one broken lover's heart? That's the only good song I remember from this movie. And it's not even a great song. I just like that. It's also terribly put into the movie because he's singing by himself and he walks out of his trailer into like the trailer park. And apparently it's a trailer park for just single men because there's not a freaking woman in sight. But anyway, so he's singing and like I said, there's not a woman in sight, so it's just a bunch of men. And it's the Jordanaires, by the way. He played with the Jordanaires for years, but they're all dressed up and they're doing their doo doo bum bum bum. But like I said, it's just funny because he's just singing in trailer park and all these men come up and they're so perfectly harmonized in the background. But it's cheesy, but that's like the only good song out of the whole movie that I remember.
That was 1962.
63. That started the 63 films.
Okay.
Next one is another one of my favorites. Fun in Acapulco.
Oh, yeah.
1963 American musical comedy film starring Elvis Presley and Ursula Andress.
Ursula.
I'm not a fan of hers. Anyway.
But I mean, back then it was.
I mean, she was beautiful, but I'm also like, she's a pretty face. She has no acting chops, and she sounds like she's talking with peanut butter in her mouth. But anyway, the film features top 10 Billboard hit Bossa Nova Babe. That is one of my favorite songs. It reached. Hey, Bossa Nova, would you keep on? Cause I ain't got time to quit. Okay, it reached #1 in the nation's weekly box office charts the week after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas. Wow. The film would be Presley's last release before the arrival of Beatlemania, and it was a top-grossing musical in 1963.
And Elvis was a Beatle fan. I mean, he didn't.
He respected them because Elvis also, everybody says that Elvis hated the change in music, which he probably did, but he also knew that like times change, and he could see that with the changing of the times, with John F. Kennedy dying, with Martin Luther King passing away, the turmoil, the Vietnam War setting in, like the turmoil of the time. Elvis knew that stuff was changing and that music was changing, just like it had done when he started. It was going from like the big band, the pre-war stuff, to the rockabilly, rock and roll stuff, that he was putting out. Times change. So he knew times were changing and tastes changed, and that, when he started out, he was a teen hit. We're now getting into the fact that he's in his 30s now, and he knew he wasn't for the, he's not bringing in the teens anymore. He's also not putting out any live music anymore because he's solely focused on his film career. But he also knew that like he was a teen idol. At some point in time, teens don't really want to ooh and ah over a 50 and 40-year-old man. So he knew that there was going to be another teen idol. So he understood the significance of the Beatles. Wasn't for him, but he was also like changing times. The teens need stuff. So he got it. But anyway.
Did you read the...
I haven't read the synopsis yet. Do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Be my guest.
A yacht owner's spoiled daughter gets Mike fired, but a boy helps him get a job as a singer at Acapulco Hilton, etc. He upsets the lifeguard by taking his girl and 3 daily work hours. Mike also seeing a woman bullfighter. Mike works on a boat in Acapulco. When the bratty daughter of the boat owner gets him fired, Mike must find new work. Little boy Raul helps him get a job as a lifeguard and a singer at a local hotel. Clashes abound when Mike runs into the rival lifeguard, who is champion diver of Mexico. He is angry at Mike for taking some of his hours and stealing his woman.
I have a bias over this movie because I love this movie. Elvis looks fantastic with his black on black again. Whew.
And his little tiny diving shorts.
Yeah, and his little tiny diving shorts at the end of the movie. Beautiful. Raul, great character. Smart ass little kid. Freaking love it. Negotiates the hell out negotiates the hell out of these people to get Elvis good money. It's a good movie. His love interests are beautiful, by the way. Ursula Andreas was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the other, Elisa Contreras Retenera. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Side note, no, Elvis never performed outside of the United States except for when he was in Germany with the army, because Colonel Parker was an illegal alien and didn't have a passport. And he would never let Elvis out of his sight for too long. So he would never let Elvis play outside of the United States because Colonel Parker couldn't get over the borders. Also, spoiler alert, Colonel Parker wasn't a colonel. Anyway, Bossa Nova Baby. beautiful. What's the next one? El Toro. That is a traditional Mexican song about a bullfighter. Elvis sings it beautifully. I don't care what anybody says. I've heard the original and I've heard Elvis. The original's in Spanish. Elvis obviously doesn't sing in Spanish, but it's still beautiful. Margarita at the end. That is a traditional Spanish song. He also doesn't sing that in Spanish, but he still does a beautiful job of it. I love Bossa Nova, baby, though. I love the scene that he sings it. It's so ridiculous because he's dancing and playing the piano at the same time, and obviously it doesn't add up in the movie, but like, I love that scene. Anyway, every time I hear Bossa Nova, that scene plays in my head.
Fun in Acapulco.
Great movie, 1963. All right, that wraps up 63. We start 1964 with Kissin Cousins.
No.
This movie is the start of the downfall, I feel like, for me. This movie is so absolutely ridiculous. 1964 American musical Panavision Metro comedy film directed by Gene Nelson, starring Elvis Presley. This film features Presley playing two roles: an Air Force officer with dark hair and his look-alike hillbilly distant cousin with blonde hair.
Which
Elvis was a blonde.
was a blonde.
Side note, he started dyeing his hair black when he did Loving You. Was it Loving? Yeah. Because that film was in black and white, and they said his contrast, it looked really good with the dark hair. So that's when he started strictly dyeing his hair black. This is just a really goofy movie. He plays the US government wants some land for a missile base in the Smoky Mountains, Appalachia. Elvis's character is from that area, so they send him up there. They send him up there to negotiate because it's his people. And his cousin, his look-alike twin cousin, is up there. There's like hardly any men up there, so all the women are feral, and every time they see a man, they attack him. Yeah. It's just stupid. So stupid.
Who's the director?
It was written by Gerald Darson Adams and Gene Nelson, who was the director. They wrote it.
Wow.
Kissin Cousins is the one that I was telling you was filmed start to finish, edited, and everything in 18 weeks. This is one of when they start getting really, really stupid.
Kissin Cousins was filmed in two primary locations: the San Bernardino National Forest in California, specifically near Big Bear Lake and Cedar Lake, and the Metro Golden Mare Studios in Culver City, California.
Next movie, 1964, was Viva Las Vegas. All right, 1964 American rock and roll musical film directed by George Stein, written by Sally Benson, choreographed by David Winters, and starring Elvis Presley and Margaret. I have that album.
Mom had that.
Starring Elvis Presley and Margaret, Caesar Devon, and William Dermis. Set in Las Vegas, Nevada. It filmed in two. The film is about two competing race car drivers who also compete for the same girl, and Margaret. Her name is Rusty. The film's theme song, Viva Las Vegas, was written by Doc Palmas and Mort Schulman. It did well on the year's record sales and has since become the theme song of the city. The film is regarded by Elvis fans and film critics as one of Presley's best films and is noted for the real-life on-screen chemistry between Presley and Anne Margaret. Viva Las Vegas was a hit film in theaters. It was also number 14 in the Vanity Entertainment Trade Magazine's year-end box office. It was one of the top-grossing films in 1964.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I mean, it was okay, but
I was going to say the synopsis is really small, so I could probably read this one. Lucky Jackson, Elvis, goes to Las Vegas, Nevada to participate in the city's first annual Grand Prix race. However,
Grand Prix. Not Prix. Grand Prix. The X is silent.
Grand Prix, whatever. I'm not a race person. However, the race car
breaks down.
However, his race car in Elvin Mark's Fifth is in need of a new engine to compete in the event. Lucky raises the necessary money in Las Vegas, but he loses it when he is shoved into a pool by the hotel's young swim instructor, Rusty Martin, and Margaret. By the way, that happens while he's serenading her, and she's serenading him back with "Get the fuck away from me." Lucky then has to work as a waiter at the hotel to replace the lost money to pay his hotel bill, as well as entering the hotel's talent contest in hopes of winning the cash prize, subsidized enough to pay for the car's engine. During all that time, Lucky attempts to win the affections of Rusty. His main competition arrives in the form of Count Elmo Marchini Caesar and his Ferrari 550 GT Belletante. Marchini attempts to win both the Grand Prix and the affections of Rusty. Rusty soon falls in love with Lucky and immediately tries to change him into what she wants.
Let's get down to the burning question everybody wants to know.
I wholeheartedly think Elvis and Anne Margaret had a relationship.
Yeah.
not only because, I don't think he ever wanted to marry Priscilla. I think she conned her way into it. I wholeheartedly think that she had her parents pull my daughter's been your live-in girlfriend for so long. I still wholeheartedly believe Priscilla when she says Elvis didn't touch her until after they were married, because there's a book, I can't think of the name of it, but it's a bunch of Elvis's ex-girlfriends, and they all say that there's a handful of them that are like, we never went all the way. We made out, we heavy petted, whatever you want to call it. But if I said no, that was it. Elvis backed off. And it's okay for one person to say that, but when you've got multiple parties being like, oh yeah, we had some heavy makeout sessions, but if I got to an extreme and I said no, Elvis had Lamar, who was his driver for many, many years, had Lamar take me home. Again, it's one thing if one girl is saying that, but when you have multiple girls saying the same story, like, kind of makes sense that this was this man's personality. Like, yeah, he was a love machine and he was beautiful and he was he had multiple girlfriends. We're not going to deny that, but he was not pushing himself on women and taking women who didn't want him. Anyway. Yeah, I know. I wholeheartedly think him and Anne Margaret had a really hot and heavy relationship. Do I think they were engaged? Probably not. I think they were banging it out while they were on set together, but I don't know. I also think Priscilla Presley is a jealous little bitch, and she saw Anne Margaret and Elvis together and got really upset.
Saw the chemistry they obviously had.
Which, by the way, I think Anne Margaret's was a very beautiful woman. Nowadays, it's questionable. Age takes us all down. But Priscilla Presley, fucking gorgeous until she ruined her face too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Priscilla Presley, I strive to look like Priscilla Presley. I will never look like Priscilla Presley. For those of you who've never seen me, you're lucky, thank God. She's freaking beautiful. Oh my God. So pretty. Even before she claims Elvis made her look like that, which, by the way, there's a lot of people that say he could care less what she put on her face and everything else. He actually preferred women more natural than with all that heavy makeup on, and Priscilla wanted to do that to make herself look older. I digress. Even before all the heavy makeup, which I still think she looks beautiful because, goddamn, that eyeliner and everything makes your eyes. She's gorgeous. She had nothing to worry about. But anyway. Good movie. I like it. 10 out of 10. It's not really a 10 out of 10. It's kind of cheesy, but I still 10 out of 10 because I love that movie. 1964, Roustabout.
Ugh.
An American musical feature film starring Elvis Presley as a singer who takes a job working with a struggling carnival. The film was produced by Hal Wallace, who makes many appearances in Elvis's career. Directed by John Rich. From the screenplay by Anthony Lawrence. The screenplay was nominated for a Writers Guild of America award for Best Written American Musical.
What?
Roustabout received lukewarm reviews by Vanity. The film soundtrack album was one of Elvis Presley's most successful. It reached number 1 on the Billboard album charts and was filmed in Techniscope at Paramount Studios. The carnival sequence is shot in Thousand Oak, California. Okay.
You need to go to Thousand Oak, California,
Yeah.
Courtney.
I really want to see it. It looks pretty in film. Well, at least in the 60s it did. This.
Want me to read the summary?
Yeah, if you want to, and then I'll give my opinions about
summary?
it. Yeah, go ahead. If it's short, this one's like 7 paragraphs, so if that one's shorter,
This
go for it.
Yeah. Charlie Rogers, a leather-jacketed biker,
He does look
a
good,
singer, gets fired from a coffee shop after a fight. What?
Another
What?
fight.
What?
He doesn't have a fist fight in Viva Las Vegas, though.
You sure?
I mean, like, he has that rival with the other. He doesn't have a fist fight, though.
What?
Unless I'm not remembering, but he doesn't have a fist fight in Viva Las Vegas.
Okay, so anyway. While riding his motorcycle, he runs off the road, and Maggie Morgan and her driver, Jolene, Joelean, not Jolene, Jolene. To pay for his bike repairs, Charlie takes a job as a roustabout at Maggie's struggling carnival. His singing talent helps revitalize the carnival, attracting crowds and boosting business. However, a misunderstood and a fight with the carnival worker lead Charlie to leave the carnival and seek work elsewhere. Ultimately, he returns to the carnival, realizing his place is with his new friends and the struggling business.
Yes, there was a fight scene in the movie Viva Las Vegas. It occurs at the end of the film when Elvis's character Lucky gets into a brawl with racing rival.
I thought there was.
Okay. I just wasn't remembering it. Okay. I have to tell you guys about this movie. We are never going to skate over the fact that Elvis had a barbiturate problem. And this movie, I feel like you can see the spiraling downfall of the barbiturate habit. The opening scene of this movie, he's on his motorcycle and he's riding, and it's a lot of tight shots of his face. He looks very, very heavily drugged. Just Elvis had the sleepy eye thing anyway. That's kind of what made him sexy. But in this one, it's really, really bad. He looks very sweaty. You can tell he's heavily make-upped. I just feel like this is the one where you're like, okay, this man hates his life and doesn't want to do this anymore. And we talked about that last week about how as the film started to get more ridiculous and the music got really, really bad, Elvis got very frustrated with his career. So this is the one that I highlight as the downfall because the next basically 8 movies after this are crap. Even the ones towards the end that I like are still not very good, but
this was an okay movie.
It had a better plot line because and the singing besides the opening one where he's on his bike singing, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's not Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Like Flaming Star or Barbara Stanwyck.
Oh yeah, Stanwyck. I almost forgot Barbara Stanwyck plays the
And later what is the Western that she played it? I believe it was,
Hold on, I can pull up her filmography.
TV series.
Big Valley, Thornburg. Best TV star, female, Big Valley.
Big Valley, that's it. That's it.
The Thornbirds, the Barbara Stanwyck Show.
The Thornburg, I remember that, but the Big Valley, that was the big one.
The Big Valley, yeah, she won Golden. Oh, she won for the Thornbirds.
Yeah.
But she was nominated for Big Valley for Best TV Star, Best Female TV Star. Barbara Stanwyck. Gorgeous. Anyway, yeah, this like I said, this one for me personally marks the downfall because you know what? We're just gonna skate over the next ones because this is getting long anyway, and I want to get to the concert series. The next 3 movies come out in 1965, which is Happy Girl, Tickle Me, and Harum Scarum.
I think I've seen Harum Scarum, but the other two, Happy Girl.
We watched Tickle Me. That's where he's on the farm, the ranch or whatever, with all the girls. It's like a fat ranch or whatever. They're trying to keep and he's doing like yoga with the girls. It's so stupid and so bad.
Yeah.
We watched this one together. It's bad. Girl Happy is another one where it's a love triangle, a bunch of females.
So those were in what years?
65. It was Girl Happy, Tickle Me, and Harum Scarum. Is Girl Happy the one where he's filmed?
I put Happy Girl. I'd be Happy Girl, starring in a film with Elvis Presley.
Nightclub singer Rusty Wells Presley and his band just closed their engagement in Chicago. Yeah, anyway, these are just... Yeah, Girl Happy and Tickle Me are pretty much the same plot. Bunch of females, love triangle. I have never seen Harum Scarum, so I can't attest to that one. I know it's very frowned upon for being racist because he plays Middle Eastern man. And there's some talk about some child issues with a belly dancing child. Like I said, I've never seen it, so I can't attest to it. But I know I've heard some talk on that one. The next 3 films come out in 1966, which are 66 was a good year.
Yes, it was. Very good year.
Frankie and Johnny, Paradise Hawaiian Style, and Spinout. I've seen all 3 of these movies. Frankie and Johnny is like a timepiece. He's on a steamboat, paddle boat on the Mississippi River. He's a gambler, but he's also a performer. He's Johnny. His performing partner is Frankie. Frances is her name. They're in love, but this new chick on the boat is like his good luck charm, and Frankie gets jealous of it. Then they end up writing a whole scene for their show where Frankie kills him over another girl, and there's a whole thing about he actually gets shot one night, and they're trying to figure out if it was actually Frankie or if it was a mistake or whatever it is, and he's got gambling debt. It's bad. It's a bad movie. It's crap. Paradise Hawaiian Style, he's in Hawaii. I think he has a helicopter, does helicopter tours. Love Triangle. This is a movie where Elvis is a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
In Spin Out, Nancy Sinatra is in this one. Love her. This is a crap movie, though. He plays another race car driver, falls in love with a woman who wants nothing to do with him, which is Nancy Sinatra. Nancy Sinatra looks great in it. This is the one. Let yourself go. Oh, wait, is it Spin Out or is it Speedway that's Nancy Sinatra? Speedway is Nancy Sinatra. I'm sorry, Spin Out. It's a race movie, but Nancy Sinatra's not in Spin Out. Sorry.
I remember Paradise Hawaiian Style.
Yeah. It's crappy.
I think my life's goal was to see all Elvis's movie, and I don't remember like those ones you just I remember Tickle Me, Girl Happy. I don't remember Harum Scarum. I remember Frankie and Johnny. I don't, and Spinout maybe.
I think I have Spinout. I know I have Speedway. Anyway, so those are the 3 movies that came out in 66. The next 3 to come out in 67 were Easy Come, Easy Go, Double Trouble, and Clambake. I can tell you right now, Clambake is not worth. It's not worth watching, except to listen to him sing Guitar Man. Easy Come, Easy Go isn't that great either. He's like a diver. He's just getting out of the military. He's a womanizer. He spins the wheel to find his date, type of thing. It's another crappy movie. Double Trouble, I will tell you, is super, super crappy and has a really, really horrible karate fight scene.
So it was Easy Come, Easy Go.
Double Trouble and Clambake. Came out in 67. He ends up being like a bodyguard for an English woman. He's trying to protect her. She's very, very rich. Like I said, there's a horrible choreographed karate fight scene with with a masked bandit in a bunny mask. It's crappy. Okay, moving on. 1968, there are 3 movies that come out. Stay Away Joe, Speedway, and Live a Little, Love a Little. Stay Away Joe is awful. Me and Ma have seen it, though. He plays an Indian. A Native American, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he plays a Native American. It's a shitty, shitty movie. Yes. I'm not even gonna say it's crap. It's shitty. It's really, really bad.
Bad makeup.
Yeah, they make him look so dark to make him look Native American, and just, yeah. It's a crap movie. Speedway is not one of my beloved movies, but I don't think it's that bad. Him and Nancy Sinatra have great chemistry. I know everybody talks about that they had a thing going on. This is also the year that he gets married. By the way, guys, this is when he finally breaks down and marries Priscilla. Or she finally browbeats him so bad that he marries her. I don't remember Speedway being that awful. I'm not gonna say it's like Oscar worthy because it's not Flaming Star, but I don't remember it being terrible. He's a race car driver. Live a Little, Love a Little. This is that one with that crazy lady on the beach with that big old dog.
Oh my gosh.
He has that acid dream.
Live a Little, Love a Little?
Yes. But this is also the movie that, Littlest Conversation, Little More Action, Please, that whole scene. Ladies, if you ever need a moment, watch that. Because that's another one where Elvis will I fuck you into submission. That man can look at me from across the dance floor and tell me to get my coat, and I'll do it. Yeah, that's about the only good scene. And then
Littlest Conversation,
a little more action, please. Edge of Reality is from this movie, but he has like a weird acid trip dream. Where he sings that one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's odd. But those all 3 came out in 68. This is also where we can stop and talk about one of the concerts.
Oh, yes.
This is where Elvis makes his triumphant return to live music, where he does what is known as the 68 comeback special, but it was actually Elvis, the TV special, is what it's named. But it's now known as the 68 comeback special because he had spent, 7 or 8 years? Well, he stopped performing before he went into the Army. When he came back, he was just focused. So 68. It's been about 7 years since he's done a live performance. So he's back doing live performances. He is so serious about it that he stops taking barbiturates for a while, or really like cuts back. I'm not gonna say stops because I don't think he ever really stopped. That was part of the problem. He slows down on his barbiturates, he diets, and he works out really, really good. So these 3 movies, I think he looks, except for Stay Away Joe, but I think that, because that was the first one, I think that was earlier in the year, but Live a Little, Love a Little looks so freaking good. The 68 comeback special, black leather. Black leather. That's all I gotta say. And if you guys have never seen Elvis, just look up the 68 comeback special, and I guarantee you that will be the first damn picture you see is Elvis in black leather, and you'll understand. And if you don't understand, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Not human, and you don't bleed red.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you can look at Elvis in black leather and be like, there's something wrong with you. Even straight men can look at that and be like, okay. Also, where he debuts in the ghetto. No, he doesn't debut in the ghetto. If I Can Dream. Why did I almost forget that? I love that song. That if you can listen to that song and not shed a tear or have some kind of emotion, you're not human either.
It was the first live performance in 7 years.
Yes.
It was first meant to be a Christmas special, but the producers wanted to do a different show to appeal to the younger demographic. With this special, Elvis reminded everyone that he was Elvis.
The king of rock and roll.
And not just the guy who sang in all those cheesy movies.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
I'm telling you, if anybody had any doubts when this came out, he was still the king of rock and roll, and he could still command a crowd. 68 comeback special. Put Elvis back on the map. This is when he starts touring again. This also leads into the Vegas residency. It wasn't a residency back then, it was just Vegas shows, but he had residency in Vegas, but we'll get into that when we talk about, because that's the end of his film career when that happens. But
this is when he kind of started rebelling against Colonel Parker.
Kind of, sort of, but then the Vegas stuff happened, and I think he was just browbeaten into submission. But yeah, this is the 68 comeback special is when he was like, I am Elvis fucking Presley. Also, the Colonel didn't want him to marry Priscilla, and he ended up doing it anyway, and then the Colonel was like, okay, well, if we're going to do this circus, we're going to do it my way, and we all know how that, well, anybody who knows anything about Elvis knows how that whole wedding thing turned out. So yeah, 68, good year. Whew, such a good year. The 68 comeback special is just... I love that sit-down thing. It was so personable and so good. I feel like you actually saw the real Elvis.
Yeah.
You didn't see Elvis Presley the performer, you saw Elvis Presley the man who loved music and just liked to joke and like be himself. Granted, you've got those bandmates that are fucking awful, cackling and being stupid.
Yeah.
I get it. They were just trying to be like, they wanted people to see Elvis, so I get that the bandmates were like egging him on and stuff too, but it was fucking cackling. But I still felt like it was really good. I felt like you saw the silly Elvis, you saw the man do the music in a good way. I praise the 68 comeback special. I love it. Again, black leather. Just black leather. Okay. Continuing. We are now in 1969, and he does 3 movies in 1969. This ends his film career. This is the last year he does any movie. The 3 films that he does are Charro, which is a Western. And honestly, he looks fucking amazing. He's got a beard. He plays a serious role in this one too. And I'm sorry, you can say what you want about Charro because it's not very well written, but I still think it's a good, because he's very serious in this movie. And I think he only does a few songs, if I remember correctly. This is a good movie for me. Is it just his Westerns that are so good? Maybe it's just his Westerns that are good. Anyway. No, because Stay Away Joe's kind of a Western and it was bad. Charro's a great movie. I recommend it if you want a more serious role. Go do it. Go watch it. Yeah, he's got a beard. He just looks so fucking... Again, this is right after the 68 comeback special, so he's thin. He's somewhat sober. He's looking good. He's just looking good. Yeah, he's looking good. Anyway, all right, the next movie is The Trouble with Girls. Oh god, this one is awful. he looks so good in this movie though. This is when we're getting the sideburns in. He's in that white suit with the blue shirt, picking the guitar with a stogie in his mouth. He looks good. He but that leads us to his last film that he ever did, major motion picture. 1969, Change of Habit.
This is another one that's hard. This is another one that's hard to find.
And was it distributed by Universal Pictures? Universal, and you can't find it? I don't know why. Fucking weird. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about this one because I'm sorry, guys. I've only seen this movie once in my life, and it was on TV. It was like one of those Sunday when you only had a couple before we had cable, when we were just watching basic antenna. And it was one of those like Sunday films, and I've only seen it once in my life, and I have fever dreams about it. It was so good. And I don't understand why you can't find it because it's Elvis Presley and Mary Tyler Moore.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't understand why you can't find this movie anywhere. I feel like it should be everywhere. Um, uh, this film is about three Catholic nuns prepared for their final vows who are sent to a rougher inner city neighborhood dressed as missionaries to work in a clinic run by a young doctor, Elvis Presley. Their lives become complicated by the realities that they face in the inner city and by the doctor who falls in love with one of the nuns, Mary Tyler Moore. Uh, yeah, Dr. John Carpenter, a physician in a ghetto clinic who falls in love with his coworker, Michelle Gellar, unaware that she is a nun. They really do. They put them in street clothes and send them out into the world. John Carpenter heads a clinic, serves an underprivileged community in a major metropolis with an ethnic Puerto Rican population. In his surprise, he is surprised to be offered assistance by three women unknown to him that these three are nuns in street clothes who want to aid the community but are afraid by the local residents, might be reluctant to seek help from their true identities. The nuns are also facing opposition from the rude and arrogant priest of the local parish, Dr. Carpenter, and the nuns show dealings with a nonverbal autistic girl named Amanda, a boy with a severe speech impediment, and a man by beaten, sorry, beaten by a loan shark enforcer. The nuns at the time are sexually harassed by loiterers, as well as an attempted rape scene. I remember it. The African American nun is attacked. Carpenter falls in love with Sister Michelle Galahad, played by the wholesome Mary Tyler Moore. But Sister Michelle's true vocation remains unknown to Dr. Carpenter. She also has feelings for the doctor, but is reluctant to leave the order. The film concludes with the Sister Michelle and Sister Irene entering the church where Dr. Carpenter is singing to pray for guidance and making her choice.
Has a VHS for sale for $40.
Who has a VHS player nowadays?
Right. Yeah. The three. Elvis woos his love as only he can with three numbers: Rubberneckin', Let Us Pray, and Change of Habit. In this hilarious and touching story.
Like I said, I have only ever seen this movie once in my life, and I remember it and I have fever dreams over it. I wish I could find it. I want it. I love it. I remember how good Elvis looked.
Oh yeah.
He can give me an examination anytime. Yeah. Anyway, that was the last film Elvis Presley ever did. So sad. Because he died 8 years later. Okay, so let's get into Elvis. This Is the Way came out in 1970. It was a documentary film about Elvis Presley's summer festivals in Las Vegas during August of 1970. Yeah, this is a really good, like, this is a concert series, obviously, so it's a lot of, like, backstage stuff, but yeah, it follows him from the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum to MGM Studios in Culver City to the Imperial to the Westgate Hotel, um, Radio Luxembourg.
Is that? I'm sorry.
That's the locations that are in the movie. Although most of the footage takes place at the International Hotel in Las Vegas, there are other several parts of the film.
And that is
A documentary. It's the Elvis. This Is the Way. Yeah, it's just a lot of concert film and stuff like this. This is he's done with Hollywood now because
that's a good movie.
Parker ran his career into the ground and nobody wanted to hire him after
The Vegas stint.
Yeah. I also feel like because Charro Trouble with Girls and Change of Habit did a crap, and I feel like after that everybody was like no, and I feel like maybe Elvis got that box office poison tag. I mean, not that they like, but that they were like, no, you can't make money off Elvis in film anymore. So, and this is after the '68 comeback special when Elvis is like, I miss my live audience. I want to perform.
Yep.
Where he was like, I've done the Hollywood thing, not for me. And so he goes back on tour anyway. So yeah, this is the jumpsuit era. So yeah, this is a lot of jumpsuit stuff.
I'm sorry, what was that movie again?
This Is the Way. This is, if you've ever seen some of his Vegas stuff where he's in a white jumpsuit and he has chains across his chest and like a macrame belt, this is where a lot of that footage comes from because that's his opening at the International.
He was still looking good there.
This is when he started dieting and stuff again to look good for his Vegas opening. This is also when Colonel Parker goes off the deep end and signs that ridiculous freaking contract for the unlimited credit in casinos because Colonel Tom Parker was a fucking gambling addict and ropes Elvis into doing like 4-week shows every year at the International so that Parker can go gamble with no limit.
What year did that movie come out?
1970. And that was the year that started the Vegas residencies for him. Like I said, the 4 weeks twice a year for like the next 8 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Which in turn, between the Vegas stuff and then him going back on his big North American tour, ran him into the ground and I think killed him. I mean, we know what kills Elvis, but I think that with this touring schedule ran him into the. And his divorce happens in 73.
Yeah.
Well, it's finalized in 73, so let's just say 72 it starts. Between 72 and 77 is just out of control for him. And the divorce, the touring schedule, and the drug habit runs him into the ground.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly think Colonel Parker and Priscilla Presley killed Elvis.
Yeah.
Again, you can kill somebody without having your hands on them.
Right.
100% they killed him. Had he been able to cut Colonel Park out of his life and cut ties with Priscilla and be able to move on, I think he would still be with us today. Well, I mean, maybe he would have been like 99. No, he had his 90th birthday last year, so he would have been 91 this year. Probably a little decrepit, but maybe still with us had he taken care of himself, but obviously he did not, so. He would have lived past 70, past 42, put it that way. The next.
No, he would have been 90 this year.
Okay.
35 and 25. Yep.
Yeah, this year was his 90th birthday back in January.
Yeah.
Duh, Cece. Yes, he would have been 90 this year. Still decrepit, but he could have still been kicking. He could have got clean and drank some matcha and been fine. Okay.
Well, it's clear in that movie, and I know they, movies for entertainment, but that movie that came out with Austin Butler.
We're going to talk about that next.
Okay.
I want to talk about that movie because I feel like that movie did a good job. There were a lot of holes and there was a lot of stuff that wasn't right, but it's a film, guys. It's for entertainment purposes, so they're going to bend the truth a little bit, but I still feel like that was still a better representation of most films that have come out. But anyway, let's do the last concert series, which is Elvis on Tour.
I know what one you're going to talk about.
Yeah, Elvis on Tour. Came out in 1972, American concert film starring Elvis Presley during his 15-city spring tour earlier that year. Elvis on Tour won Best Documentary at the 30th Golden Globe Awards.
That came out in 70?
Mm-hmm. Previously unreleased footage from Elvis on Tour will be featured in the 2025 documentary Epic Elvis Presley in Concert by the Elvis director Buzz Lerman. And it's not coming out this year. Yeah, it is. It's coming out in the next few months. It's supposed to be out. I'm excited for that because it's footage we haven't seen forever that has been locked away in Graceland that has now been uncovered because we don't have that fucking witch controlling everything. Anyway, after an 8-year hiatus where he focused on his acting career, Elvis Presley returns to live performing, with the kickoff being his 98 TV special, Elvis. With the success of the show and his manager, Colonel Parker.
You said 98 is 68.
Sorry, 68, yeah. The 68 television special, Elvis. With the success of the show, his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, arranges a residency for Presley at the International Hotel in Las Vegas. We know why that. It wasn't to help his career, it was to help Parker gamble. Yeah, this movie highlights his touring, but it also highlights that opening show at the International. Dun, 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 dun. So good. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this. I mean, there's nothing to really talk about. It's a bunch of his international performances and a few from some cities and stuff that he does because the International is only like 4 weeks every 6 months. It was twice a year, but it was only for like 4 weeks. He wasn't in Las Vegas forever. Well, it feels like it because he ended up dying. But anyway, yeah, it's good. It's a lot of concert stuff, but it's so good. This is also where you see some backstage stuff where Elvis is hilarious. He's also very raunchy.
Yeah.
This is also where you're seeing Elvis start to put on a little bit of weight. He's a little bit heavier. Yeah, it's good shit though. I almost forgot that wasn't the last one. We have to talk about Aloha from Hawaii.
Yes. I have vivid memories of watching that on TV.
I have vivid memories of watching it after the fact because I wasn't alive in 73.
Oh, that was such a good.
But I bought it and watched it with my mom and my grandma, and it was beautiful. Aloha from Hawaii was a concert starring American singer Elvis Presley. Oh wait. It takes place from Honolulu International Center and was broadcast via satellite to audiences in Asia and Oceanica. The show was presented with delays in Europe and in the United States avoided the program conflicts. To avoid program conflicts with the Super Bowl VII, so that would be Super Bowl
5, 6.
Super Bowl 7?
No.
Yeah, because V is 5,
wait,
and then 2 after
wait
that.
A minute.
How old were you in 73?
7.
Yeah, Super Bowl 7. Oh, and Elvis on Tour, which was playing in cinemas at the time. NBC opted to air the 90-minute television special of the concert in April. Yeah, this is a great concert. It's very, very simple. Again, this is before we had to have flashy fucking light shows and everything else to see a concert nowadays. It's just Elvis in a very elaborate jumpsuit, but it's beautiful. Up there singing. He looks great.
Yes, he does.
Looks freaking amazing. He's singing. He looks like he's having a great time.
Working, of course, but
Well, yeah, but I feel like he did get joy from working. He was a performer. Yes. Oh my god. Oh yeah. My
Tumblr.
my tumbler is a replica of his jumpsuit, so it's got the jeweled eagle on it.
And part of his belt?
Yes, and part of his belt. The American Eagle jumpsuit, if you want to look it up, guys. It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great concert. I'm not gonna say it's as great as a 68 comeback special because there was just some kind of magic that the NBC captured when they did that.
All the people there.
Yeah, just him coming out of retirement, and I say that in quotes, after his 7-year hiatus. And yeah, there was just magic that they captured when they did that 68 comeback special. This is still great performance of his, but there's just, I mean, it's Aloha from Hawaii. It's groundbreaking. It was the first like satellite concert series. It was broadcasted everywhere. I think they said 3 million people tuned in to watch it. Yeah. It was good stuff. Anyway, if you ever have a chance, I think you can go on YouTube and look it up. You might not be able to see the whole concert in its entirety, but you'll be able to see clips of it. It's good. It's just Elvis performing, but in the best, like that's where he did his good stuff at, was performing on stage. All right, so that's all from the Elvis performances in his movies. I gave you guys my input. He had some gold, he had some crap. I don't solely blame him for that because it wasn't really his choice. Colonel Parker had a stranglehold on his career.
Sad.
It is sad. And like I had just shared before, I think Priscilla Presley and Colonel Tom Parker and his barbiturate habit is what killed him. I think had he been able to break away from Colonel and divorce Priscilla and move on with his life, he could have been happy. But I feel like Colonel Parker running his ass into the ground, I totally feel like he loved Priscilla. Whether he wanted to marry her or not, I feel like, they had a child together. He loved her in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like that ruined him. And yes, he had partners after her, but he loved Priscilla. And I think she used and abused him even after they were divorced and ran him into the ground as well.
I think Elvis's doctor or doctors killed him also.
Nick. Dr. Nick.
Yeah. And his closest.
Yeah.
Entourage.
The Memphis Mafia.
Not the, well, maybe one or two people in the Memphis Mafia.
I think they truly cared about him, but I also, and you can say what you want because I do love Elvis, but I think he was a man-child.
Yeah.
I can say that because, again, I love him and I respect him, but he was a man-child.
I've seen interviews where it says, if Elvis wanted something, you got it for him. Right then, I mean,
Also, if you're working for him and he's paying for everything, you want to make him happy because if not, you're not getting paid or you're not getting taken care of. So why bite the hand that feeds you type of thing too? So if Elvis asks you for pills or women or whatever, you get it for him. Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm a downer on Elvis because I do love him, but I also feel like his entire circle ran him into the ground.
Yeah.
But it is history. It's in the past. There's no going back now. It is what it is. But I also thoroughly respect his career and his music.
Yeah. Just like
regardless of how pretty he was, he had an impact on music.
Yeah. And couldn't somebody in his inner circle saying, and I think his dad kind of seen it, but his dad also was.
I also feel like his dad was powerless too.
Right.
Because if you get on Elvis and you make him stop touring and take care of himself, your bills aren't getting paid.
Right. Because
So,
that one scene in that movie that we're going to talk about next, he like fainted or something, and he was getting ready to go on stage, and they said, "What do you do?" And it was like a showdown between Colonel Parker and his dad, and it's like, "You're his dad, say something." But again, your manager, and he goes, "Just get my boy," Colonel Parker said, "just get my boy out there on the stage."
Yeah, there's nothing more important than Elvis being on stage tonight. And then I think he kind of I think Colonel Parker manipulated everybody in that circle because he truly held the power.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to touch on the 2022 film Elvis by Buzz Lerman, starring Austin Butler.
Yes.
As an Elvis girly, when they announced this movie and they announced Austin Butler, I was like, ew, no, because my brain went to like Disney Channel Austin Butler, and I was like, ew, no. I will tell you that when that movie came out and I saw it, I was like, there is nobody better to play Elvis. I think he truly respected that role, and he truly respected the family, and he spent time with Priscilla and Lisa and watched those home videos and did his homework. And say what you will, and like, I am just a fan. This is my humble opinion. I think he did a fantastic job.
I think so too.
I am an Elvis fan. I will tell you if it's a crappy portrayal because I've seen all those made-for-TV shows and Don Johnson and Kurt Russell and everybody who's played Elvis. Some of you all fucking suck to the high heavens.
I mean, nobody can play Elvis.
No, I mean, there's always... Austin didn't do a grade A fantastic job, but I feel like he's the truest, the best performance I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So, high praises to Austin Butler. You did a fantastic job as an Elvis girly. I can't say I grew up with that, but like, I did grow up with that. I've seen Elvis. I've seen his mannerisms. I know his music. I know how he moves. You did a fantastic job. And from my Elvis girly heart in the purest form, Austin Butler, if you're out there and you ever hear this, thank you for doing that.
We love
did
you,
a fantastic
Austin.
job. I think you're gorgeous too, by the way.
Sponsor our podcast.
Yeah, please sponsor Mother Mystery. We love you. Besides the fact that you're gorgeous and I do love you, you did a fantastic job and you made my Elvis girly heart very, very happy when I saw that movie.
I mean, all the interviews you could tell, he said he listened to hours.
Yeah. Yeah, he like I said, he spent time with Lisa Marie and Priscilla. He spent time at Graceland. He listened to stories. I think he did his research and I think he did it well. Yeah, I just...
Not like that other one. What do you know about Elvis? From Lilo and Stitch. That's all I know. And I'm like...
Jacob Elordi from the Priscilla movie. A, fuck that movie. B, Jacob Elordi was like the worst person ever. When you had just had that blockbuster film and then you do that, which I understand. But anyway, that he was awful. A, just grade A awful.
They said, how do you relate to Elvis? How do you know Elvis? Well, all I know is that song from Lilo and Stitch. I'm like, really?
Ugh. Anyway. So yeah, I high praises for the Elvis movie. Again, I said it's a movie. It's for entertainment purposes. I love Buzz Lerman. I love Moulin Rouge. I love Romeo and Juliet in Love. I love... what's the other movie that he did? Great Gatsby. I love Great Gatsby so much. Oh, I love that book anyway. But when he did that movie, oh my God, so freaking good. I love Buzz Lerman. He does a great job. He's a good storyteller. He's a good filmmaker. I will die on my hill. You guys can say what you freaking want, but I love it. I was a little skeptical though, because like Moulin Rouge and Great Gatsby with the like new music into the old music type of thing, I was like, what are we going to do with this movie? I have high praises. I like it. I think he used the music out of order, obviously, but I think he used the music to tell the story, and I like that. And like I said, it's for entertainment purposes, so there is a lot of stuff that he took liberty with. There's a lot of stuff he got right that yes, go with it. But there's also a lot of stuff where I'm like, okay, he took liberties, which is
entertainment.
Fine. Yeah, you have to have the entertainment factor, because you're not just making this for Elvis girlies, which we would have sat down and didn't watch the play-by-play of Elvis's life and been happy, but you're making this for everybody. So you have to have entertainment purposes. I don't feel like it should have been called Elvis. I feel like it should have been called the Colonel Parker story because it was a lot of that. But I like the portrayal of him because it was Colonel Parker stepped in fully being the villain. You were never on Colonel Parker's side through this entire movie, which I like that because you should have never been. He looked at Elvis and saw dollar signs and used him until he was dried up.
And we watched that movie with my mom, and she didn't care for it. And she left early, and I'm like, you should have stayed. It got better.
Yeah, she left in the middle of the movie. Yeah. It's not for everybody. Like I said, this is my opinion, my sole opinion, but I liked it. Like I said, it should have been the Colonel Parker movie. I like that you start out seeing him as the villain.
Because he was.
He was the villain. Like I said, he used Elvis up until there was nothing left. I love the portrayal at the end with the Vegas stuff because they fully get into how Colonel Parker used him and abused him. And like Ma was just describing about the drug scene, he completely has an overdose. And before he gets on stage, and Colonel Parker is having a complete and utter meltdown and is like, that boy has to be on stage tonight, but that boy has to be on stage tonight. And it is that I'm like playing the scene in my head now and I'm getting chills from it. I remember it. But yeah, it's like a showdown where Colonel Parker's trying to call the shots, but everybody's looking at Vernon, and Vernon's like, well, get that boy on stage, I guess. Like, it's really sad. You can tell that he's like, there's something wrong. I need to do something, but he's also like, where's my next meal coming from? Kind of situation.
This is all of us right here is our bread and butter.
Yeah, and also, I can't attest if it really happened in real life, but they play the drama out where Elvis is like, I'm done. Colonel Parker's fired. And then Colonel Parker's like, oh, I'm fired. Here's everything that I've paid for, everything you still owe me, blah, blah. And it would have bankrupt Elvis. And I feel like, I don't know if that really happened in real life, but if it did, I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. It was a good movie though.
Beautiful talent, but hidden tragedies that we all don't know about.
And the ending of the movie is the performance in Indianapolis, his last Unchained Melody, the last concert he did. And I know they superimposed Austin's face on that, but I feel like I cry every time I hear Unchained Melody anyway. But that's how they end the movie, which is so sad because that is such an emotional performance. But
he sings his heart out.
He does. Fat Elvis, 4 weeks before he dies, up there singing. That, if you ever watch the live footage of that concert, he's very confused. He forgets lyrics to his own songs. It's just
sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Also on a side note, because this is the last thing I have to say before we're going to end this podcast, because this is way over. Elton John was a huge still is a huge Elvis Presley fan. He had just gotten big and was over here in America, and his mom introduced him to Elvis. So Elton John took his mom to that concert in Indianapolis, and they got backstage to meet Elvis. And this concert was 4 weeks before Elvis died. Keep that in mind. And Elton John, in his book, because I've read that book too, because I like Elton John, talks about going backstage and just a fat, sweaty Elvis and like black hair dye running down his cheek type of thing, and everybody like rushing around him, and Elvis just being very disoriented and not himself. And so, but he said he's very nice, and he, oh, you're Elton John, oh, you're a singer too, like, he's very out of touch at this point in time. And then Elton John's like, okay, me and my mom are going back to the car. We were going back to our hotel. And my mom looked at me and said, that boy's not going to live much longer. And Elton's like, what are you talking about? And he died 4 weeks later. So, yeah, it's very sad. His life was sad, but I am happy that it's memorialized in movies, even if they are chatty movies, some of them. I love that even what we're looking at 47 years after his death, he still has an impact on music. It just makes me happy. I don't have anything else. Colleen doesn't have anything else to add. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm ending this on a really sad note, but I really, really love Elvis. I wanted to memorialize him in a good way. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing this. Yeah. I just love Elvis, so I enjoyed this even if I had to skate over a bunch of movies. I'm sorry, guys, that wasn't my intention, but I didn't want to do 3 parts on Elvis since we did 3 parts on the horrible FLDS.
We love you.
Yeah, we do. We love you guys.
We love Elvis. We'll always love Elvis.
Yes. Yes, we will. God. Unless it came out that Elvis, like, beat children and puppies, I don't feel like he could do anything
No.
that would make me not love him. Um, yeah, anyway. All right. CC out, guys. Love you. Bye.